Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bijana. This is Reach Your Bliss, where we talk all things authenticity and happiness. I just wanted to jump on here and deliver a really quick message that came through for me this weekend. And as you can tell by the title, we're talking about how to remain unbothered. And in order to remain in your authentic nature, show up every single day in your authentic nature, you absolutely must. I cannot stress this enough. You must remain unbothered. So what is unbothered? Unbothered is just essentially being rooted in your truth. Literally, you need to be, in order to show up every single day authentically in your desires and who you are and who you're becoming and who you want to be, and whatever you are creating for your life, you have to be so rooted in your truth that it doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about it, what anybody else has to say about you, what anyone else's opinions are. You are still striving towards, moving towards wherever your goal is. And so I had this incident this past weekend where someone lashed out at me and essentially told me all of these things of who I was and who I am, or at least who they perceived me to be, and blah, 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 blah. And it was really funny because I can remember a period in my life where, like, when someone would say hurtful things to me or things that like essentially weren't true, it would really bother me. And I would spend months, I would spend weeks, I would spend years. Like, I remember even just a few years ago thinking about things that happened to me a few years, way back. But anyways, so I had that incident happen to me this weekend where someone was just spewing hatred at me. And I was just in the moment, I was like, wow, none of this is relevant. None of this is relevant. But so, and so I just find it strange. Not that I find it strange, but I've just seen in other people where, people might say something about you, or they might have a certain opinion about what you do or how you live your life or how you're showing up. And sometimes it might bother you. And it's only bothering you because you're not rooted in who you are, who you want to be, what you want your life to look like. So firstly, in order to remain unbothered and show up and live authentically in your truth every single day, no matter what else is going on, no matter what else anyone else is saying, you must be rooted in your truth. You must be rooted in your truth. And what is your truth? Your truth is whatever you want it to be, honestly. Whatever that looks like for you. If you want your life to be easy breezy and you only have to work 2 hours a day, and maybe like everyone else is working super hard and stressing, and that's how someone else wants to live their life, fine. But like, be so rooted in your truth that if someone comes and it's like, you're lazy, you're just like, haha, anyways. Like, that's how rooted in your truth you must be. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You know who you are. You know what you want for your life. You know what you're creating for your life. You know who you're becoming. In order to be rooted in your truth, you must rewrite whatever old stories, whatever old beliefs and expectations you previously had. And so for me, this has really looked like, if you go back and watch my How to Manifest Fast video, I go into detail about this, of literally rewriting beliefs that I had been told into new beliefs, into what I want them to be for my life. What is true for me is not going to be true for everybody. What is true for you is not going to be true for everybody. And you must accept that. Why? Because no one else is living your life. No one else is living your life. So it doesn't matter if you are living your life a specific way, in a way that maybe comes off as like a little delusional or off to other people, but you know it to be your truth. You know what's going to happen for you. You know who you want to be. Period. That's all that matters. The second thing, in order to remain unbothered and show up and live authentically in your life every single day, is to literally understand and accept the fact that opinions do not matter. Opinions do not matter. Anyone else's opinion besides your own does not matter. Doesn't matter if it's your mom's opinion, doesn't matter if your dad's opinion, your partner's opinion, your girlfriend's opinion, your neighbor up the street opinion, does not matter. anyone else's opinion besides your own does not matter. Why? Because no one else is living your life. No one else is living your life. Why would you heed someone else's opinion about your life specifically? So when I talk about opinions in general, I am talking about opinions just as a whole. No one's opinions matter except yours. If we can narrow it down to like just your life in general, literally no one else's opinions matter because it's your life. Unless someone else is going to live your life for you, why the fuck would you listen to someone else's opinion? That's dumb. That's literally stupid. Think about that for a second. Why would you do that? And so when I like to think about this, or when I like coach my clients on this, it's like you can either be worried about what everyone else has to say about you, worried about everyone else's opinion, or you can be at peace and be rooted in your truth and know your opinion and only claim and only be concerned about your opinion. And I don't know about y'all, but living in peace and only being concerned about my opinion, about what I think about me, is so much more easier and blissful and enjoyable than worrying about other people's opinions and about what other people have to say about me and what they think and what they would do and blah, 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 blah. I used to live that life. I used to be so worried about what other people had to say about me, about what other people's opinions might be, about what other people might say. It was stressful, y'all. It was real stressful, okay? And if you are there, because I know that a lot of us have been there, and if you are currently there, sit down for a moment and think about how stressful your life is. How you constantly are worried about what other people have to say, what someone else might say, what someone else might think. Why don't you start worrying about what you think about yourself, what you have to say about yourself? Anyways, I'm getting off track. But actually, that does go into my third point. In order to be unbothered, you need to stop trying to understand, you need to stop trying to be understood. You need to stop trying to be understood by other people and seek to understand yourself. Forget about being understood. Seek to understand yourself. I had this moment a few years ago where I was like, wow, I was so concerned with trying to be understood by everyone else in my life that, one, I didn't even understand myself. How can I ask other people to understand me when I don't understand myself? So then I had this period of time where I was diving deep within me of like understanding myself. And as I've just learned to understand myself, one, I've become so much more rooted in my truth. I don't give a fuck about other people's opinions, but also I don't care if other people don't understand me. I don't care if I look delusional to you. I don't care. I know what's true for me. I understand me. I find it's quite often that I see people who are seeking so hard to be understood by others because they don't understand themselves. And understanding is also acceptance. And so in order for you to understand yourself, you must, I cannot stress this enough, you must accept yourself. Every single aspect, every single hurt, every single pain, every single past and present and whatever future you want to be, you have to accept yourself. I'll probably do a video really soon on acceptance because, that's been coming up in my reality a lot, and I feel like y'all need to hear a talk on acceptance. But anyways, yeah, you must just understand yourself. Forget being understood by others. You don't need anybody else to believe in your dreams. And so lastly, I want to say you don't need anybody else to believe in your dreams. When it comes to living in your authentic nature, showing up authentically, it's not going to make sense to anybody else. And in the beginning, it's not going to make sense to you. And honestly, it's probably not going to make sense to you ever, because I am over here living in my authentic nature, showing up authentically every single day. And y'all, I be like, damn, none of this shit makes sense. None of this shit makes sense. Nothing makes sense, but I'm moving ahead either way. I'm continuing on. I'm showing up. I'm moving forward joyfully every single day. None of it makes sense. And so if it doesn't make sense to you, you damn sure better believe it's not going to make sense to other people. But what do? Keep believing in yourself. Keep believing in your dreams. Keep trusting in what you know to be true for your life and where your life is going and what you want for your life and who you want to be and who you are becoming. No one else needs to believe in your dreams. Is it nice to share your dreams with other people and let people in on like kind of what you're doing in life? Definitely. But I would advise and just heed that to say, just also add to that be aware of who you're sharing your dreams with, because there are going to be people who won't impose their limiting beliefs on you. And there are going to be people who will be quick to judge and will be quick to say, that's wrong. You're wrong. Now, if you are very rooted in your truth, you won't give a fuck. If you are very rooted in your truth, you won't care if someone else is condemning you for the way you're living your life, because you know that to be true for you and you know how your life is about to pan out. But if you're not there yet, I had to spend a large period of my time where I didn't tell anyone, like no one, anything in my life. I was just very silent. I would just do things. And I'm still that way, but now I have like very select people. I know people, like I have people in my life who are very close to me and who I know like will not at all impose their own limiting beliefs on me. They'll just support me and congratulate me and ask me questions about what I'm doing. And that's it. And those are the type of people you want to surround yourself with when you are sharing your dreams, if you are going to share your dreams. But yeah, no one else needs to believe in your dreams besides you. I find that a lot of times when we are moving towards, living the life we ultimately desire, becoming who we truly want to be, who we've always been dreamed of being, it can be easy to want someone to come along for the ride with you, because we are humans. No one necessarily wants to be alone, but also it can also be easy to like feel the need to share because you're so excited. Learn to be excited by yourself. And that's getting off track, so I'm not going to get too much off track, but literally learn to be excited by yourself. Like, I have so much joy by myself. It's unreal. Like sometimes like even the way I celebrate me is just unreal. But anyways, that's all I wanted to get on here and say today. You have to be unbothered in order to continue showing up authentically. I don't know what your life is going to look like. I don't know who you want to be, how you want your life to be, what your dream life looks like for you. But whatever it is, I'm sure it's probably dramatically different than what you are, who you are, where you're at right now. And in order for you to get there, to get where you ultimately want to be, you have to be rooted in what you know to be true for you. What's true for you is that end goal. What's true for you is your ultimate dream of who you are, of your life, and whatever that looks like for you. You have to be rooted in that truth. Every single day, get up and remind yourself who you are, who you're becoming, what you're doing. There are going to be times and moments in your life where you come across people who just don't understand. But as long as you understand it's not going to matter. As long as you've accepted who you want to be and where you're going, it's not going to matter. And again, you might look delusional to people. You might look crazy to people, but it's not for them to understand. It's for you to understand. It's for you to believe in. It's for you to show up authentically every single day in your life. And if you are finding yourself struggling with this, where you're struggling with accepting yourself or really like releasing the opinions of others, and you find that anytime someone has something to say about what you're doing, like you kind of get down on yourself and start doubting yourself, I'm booking now for one-on-one private coaching, and I would love to walk you through that stage of your life, because I'm telling you, once you're on the other side of that, bruh, it's glorious. It's glorious, because I could still be laid out on my couch, down and depressed about what this person said about me this past weekend, and oh, woe is me, and they're right, and I'm not doing right in my life, and oh my gosh, this, and this. But I left that moment like, anyways, moving on, back to living a great life, back to having fun, back to being joyful, back to being blissful, back to being a literal being of love and light, because I know who the fuck I am. And it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter how I look to other people, because I know who I am. I understand me. I accept me. And that's all that matters. That's literally all that matters. But anyways, as always, I appreciate you. I love you. You got this. And I'll see you in the next one.